Paragraph 10. Do you object to the presence of any person or in the immediate vicinity of this office? Answer: no, as there was no other person present at the office except a suspect and the officer taking the statement.
Ingabe unenkinga yini ukuthi ke kube nomuntu okhona ke lana noma ke eduze kwale office esikulona? Cha, nanjengoba ke engekho omunye umuntu okhona lana ngaphandle ke umsolwa kanye futhi ke nephoyisa leli ke ekuyilona elithatha istatement lesi.
Akazi umbothe ngibuze lo mbuzo lo wazange phane ngale answer ishoyo.
I never, Mboto never asked me this question, and I never provided the answer he mentions.
Paragraph 10.1. If so, against who and why? Answer: none.
Uma kunjalo ke ubani onenkinga naye, kungani unenkinga? Impendulo yathi akekho.
Umbothe akaze ngibuze lo mbuzo lo akaze ngimuphe le answer ayishoyo.
Mboto never asked me that question. I never provided him with the answer that he says or he mentions.
Endikinga nganginayo ngokushawa kwami kakhulu lapha.
And I did have an objection with the manner in which I was assaulted there.
Paragraph 11. Do you still wish to make a statement? Answer: yes.
11. Uyabuza ke usafisa yini ukuthi wenze istatement? Impendulo yathi yebo.
Akazi umbothe ngibuze lo mbuzo lo akaze ngiphana le answer ayishoyo.
Mboto never asked me that question. I never provided with that answer.
Paragraph 11.1. As you are still prepared to make a statement, I would like to know your source of information regarding the proposed statement you wish to make. Answer: yes, I am prepared still to make the statement, and I am the source.
Nanjengoba usayimiseleke ukuthi wenze istatement, ngafisa ukwazi ke ukuthi ke lokhu noma lo lwazi onalo luqhamukapi noma ke lubuya kuphi ke mayelana nestatement lesi ofisa ukuthi usenze. Yebo, ngisayimisele ukuthi ngisenze istatement, futhi ke lokho ngizokusho noma ke ulwazi lolo luqhamuka noma lubuya kimi.
Umbothe akaze ngibuze lo mbuzo lo akaze ngimuphi answer njengaleyo futhi.
Mboto never asked me such a question, and I never provided him with that answer.
Alukho ulwazi enganginalo.
There was no information that I had.
Paragraph 12. Are you at this moment under the influence of any liquor and or drugs? Answer: no, I am drinking, but I last drank liquor in March due to lockdown, and I don't use drugs.
Ingabe ke kulesikhathi lesi ke ingaba mhlambi ke uphuzile yini ke utshwala noma ke izidakamizwa, uyisebenzisile izidakamizwa? Impendulo yathi cha, ngiyaphuza ukuphuza, kodwa ke ugcina kwami ukuphuza kwakungoMarch ngenxa ke yayo ilockdown, izidakamizwa angiyisebenzisi.
Umbothe akaze ngibuze lo mbuzo lo akaze ngimuphe lo answer leyo.
Mboto never asked me that question, and I never provided him with that answer.
Observation of the Justice of the Peace. The suspect looks sober.
Ukubona kwakhe ke noma ke uma yena ke kubuka ekubhekileke wabona ke ukuthi cha ke ukahleke noma ke uma kusetshenziswa ke igama lesilungu ke ukuthi ke usober, noma amagama akukho ke okuphuzile noma ke okusebenzisile.
Umbothe akangazi mangi right noma ngingekho right mina.
Mboto does not know my condition when I'm well or when I'm not well.
Imicabango yakhe le ayibhala la.
Those are his thoughts that he produced to writing here.
Paragraph 13. Since it appears that the deponent, 13.1, is in his sound, sober senses, paragraph 13.2, has not been unduly influenced thereto, understand his rights as prescribed by Section 35 of the Constitution, and paragraph 13.3, freely and voluntarily wishes to make a statement, he is informed that he may now proceed.
Nanjengoba ke kubonakala ke noma kubukeka ke futhi ukuthi ke lona ke ozonikeza ngaso istatement sakhe ke ukahleke isimo sakhe nje ukwisimo esikahle, nokuthi ke futhi ke akaphoqiwe nokuthi futhi ke amalungelo wakhe uyawezwa nanjengoba ebhaliwe ke ngaphansi kwakhe ke usection 35 womthethosisekelo, nokuthi futhi ke ngokuyithandela futhi ke nangokukhululeka efisa ukuthi ke enze istatement, uyatshelwa ke noma utsheliwe ke ukuthi manje usengaqhubeka.
Umbotha akaze ngibuze lo mbuzo lowo, akazi ngize ngiphana ngeanswer lezayisho.
Boto never asked me that question or never put that to me, and I never provided the answers that he mentions.
And ngangingakhululekanga. Akekho umuntu ongakhululeka eshawa.
And I was not free, or as it says here, freely. I was not free, and no one can be free when being assaulted.
Ngoba ngisho ukuthi ngashawa eThembisa, ngashawa eFosforus, ngawushawa eDikloof.
As I mentioned that I was assaulted in Tembisa, I was assaulted in Phosphorus, and I was assaulted in Deep Kloof.
Ngaphinde ngasho ukuthi ukusayina kwami ngisayina lapha kumbotho ingoba ngangivikela impilo yami.
And I also mentioned that by signing there where Mboto was, I was signing because I was protecting my life.
Akukho engangikwenza ngokuthanda kwami.
Nothing was done voluntarily.
Yes. We will now proceed to deal with your statement. We will revert to paragraph 14 after going through your statement.
Sizoqala ke manje ukuthi sifunde sona istatement sakho, sizobuyela ke na ke paragraph 14 emuva kokuthi ke sesifundile ke istatement.
On 2014, between September and October,
when I led this witness in evidence in chief, and I wanted to embark on the same process, the judge said, but what is the need for that to happen, because this witness says this is not a statement. I'm not so sure whether that will also be opposite to what the states intend to do now. Thank you, my lord.
What does it prove? According to the state.
Excuse me, my lord.
I say the state, what does the state say?
I don't know, man.
well, my lord, the accused says he is not the source of this statement. He says the police are the source of the statement.
Right.
It is therefore crucial for the state to go through the statement to demonstrate that he's in fact the source, that the information that is in the statement could only have been provided by him. And this is what the authorities say, my lord.
In the court, my lord. Before I reply, the state is saying, the accused says, this information is from the police. He says, I don't know where the police got this information from. So that's misleading. He does not say the police are the source of the information. He says, I don't know where they got it from. He said that up to times. But that is exactly the same argument, my lord, that I advance, that I want to deal with the content of the statement, because accused says it does not come from him. And the court says, no, but Mr. Mnisi, this accused says he does not know the statement. So why should you go through the statement with him? I think, and in my view, and I hold that view very dearly, that what the state intends to do now is just a replication of what I also intended to do.
Okay, you can do it if you want to do it. Fine.
But it's now under cross-examination.
Yeah,
How
no,
can
you
I
can do it.
when it's
In re-examination, you can do it. Because we are arguing that cross purposes.
Thank you, my lord.
Because your client's version is he never made a statement.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes,
The state says the source of the statement is your client.
yes,
And the state wants to prove that.
yes.
Right. And the law, what's that case? Yes, this is Gumede. Yeah, Potwan and Gumede. Okay. Yeah, you can, if you want to prove the source, as you say, you can do that. If you want to prove it, I can't tell you what to do.
Because the law is very specific, my lord. When an accused person says, this is not my statement, it's a question of credibility. You don't even go to the content of the statement, you simply argue about the credibility of that which the witness is saying.
Yeah, fine, okay, you'll argue that, Mr. But Miss, if you
can
want to argue
proceed.
that, no problem.
Can proceed.
Yes, Mr. Baloi, what's your intention? What do you want to do?
Siya-ke udaba lana bekuwukuthi ke nanjengoba umshushisi befuna ukuthi ke akubuzeke ngokubhala kwistatement wasesukuma-ke ummeli wakho esho ukuthi ke naye-ke nkathi bekuyena bekuhola-ke ngemibuzo isifiso sakhe-ke sokuthi akwenze lokhu kodwa yase-ke inkantolo-ke imvimba-ke kulokho yasho-ke inkantolo ukuthi isizathu sokuthi imvimbeke bekuwukuthi wena-ke ushilo ukuthi akusiwena obhalile noma wakusho okulana-ke kodwa-ke ngakuhlangothi umshushisi yena ufuna ukutshengisa ukuthi nanjengoba uthi wena akusiwena umbuso wena ufuna ukuveza-ke ukuthi ngempela kwakuwena umuntu owakusho lokho nokuthi-ke ummeli wakho uma-ke ukuthi uyafisa ukwenza lokho inkantolo ithi izomnika-ke lelo thuba lelo ukuthi-ke angakwenza.
Namanje ngisasho akaze ngenze statement.
I still maintain that I never made a statement.
As a court, please, my lord, the state intends to proceed with the reading of the confronted accused with the contents of the statement. On 2014, between September and October, it was Sabbath, which is Saturday. My friends Marco Butelezi and Makimba Butelezi entered the house and demanded cell phone, and they shot the now deceased.
Ngo-2014 kwakuphakathi kwaSeptember no-October kwakuyi ngendlela-ke ekubhaliwe ekubhalwe ngayo la kwakuyisabatha ukusho ukuthi kwakungomgqibelo abangani bami uMarco Buthelezi kanye noMakimba Buthelezi bangena endlini base befuna ama-cell phones base bedubula-ke ongasekho manje noma-ke osewashona.
Comment noma ngilalele.
Should I listen or comment?
You can comment.
Ungacomment.
Umakha akusiyo umngani wami, Makimba akusiyo umngani wami, akaze ngize ngibone kudutshula umuntu. Phambi kwami.
Marco is not my friend. Makimba is not my friend. I never saw someone being shot in my presence.
Yes.
Angazi lutho ngezinto ezazenzeka lapha.
I know nothing about the things that happened there.
You'll recall that Brigadier Gininda testified that they did not know about these names. They heard them from you. From your
Uzokhumbula-ke ukuthi
statement.
kubufakazi bakhe uBrigadier Gininda washo ukuthi-ke amagama lana babengawazi bawezwa kuwena.
Namanje ngisasho ukuthi ngiqambela amanga mina zangikhuluma lamagama uyowavela lamagama sise Phosphorus. Uyovele nalamagama masise Phosphorus.
I still maintain that he told lies about me. He's the one who came up with these names when we were in Phosphorus.
We put it to you yesterday that at that point, in Phosphorus, you had not yet made this statement, so as Brigadier Gininda testified, they would not have known about these two names.
Sishilo-ke kuwena-ke izolo ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi leso-ke laphayana ePhosphorus wawungekasenzi-ke lesi statement kusho ukuthi babengeke bazi-ke ngaleso sikhathi leso ngalamagama lana ngoba istatement lesi wawungekasenzi.
Ngiphinde ngiyasho uGininda ePhosphorus uyofike nalamagama.
I still repeat that in Phosphorus, Gininda is the one that came up with these names.
Ngiqale nje ukwezwa ngaye lamagama la nokuthi ethi abangani bami ngiqala ukuzwa ngaye akusiba abangani bami uMakho.
I heard these names, or the first time I heard about these names was from him, and the fact that these were my friends, I heard that from him, but they are not my friends.
Paragraph 1. On that week, in that year, during the week, it was on Wednesday, I was at my place at the hostel in Phosphorus at Basotho section. And I received the call from my friends Marco Butelezi and Makimba Butelezi. Both were staying at Phosphorus hostel, but Zulu section.
Ngalelo viki lelo-ke kuwona lowo nyaka evikini kwakungolesithathu la ngihlala khona ehostel ePhosphorus eBasotho noma-ke kuhlangothi laBasotho noma kubhalelana-ke Basotho section ngase ngithola-ke ucingo elibuya-ke kubangani bami uMarco Buthelezi kanye naye uMakimba Buthelezi bobabili-ke babehlala ePhosphorus ehostele kodwa-ke uhlangothi lwamaZulu kubhalelana-ke Zulu section.
Angazi lutho ngayo yonke lento le ebhalwe la.
I know nothing about everything that's written here.
Akaze ngize ngibhale lento leyo.
I never wrote this.
Anginayo iphone number kaMakhimba, anginayo iphone number kaMakha, akaze beze bebe namafoni ami.
I do not have Makimba's phone number. I do not have Marco's phone number. They've never had my phone numbers.
Akaze baze bangifonela nangelilodwa ilanga.
Not a single day did they ever call me.
Ngoba ngisho ukuthi akusiba abangani bami.
As I say that they are not my friends.
The person who was calling me was Marco, but I heard on the background that he was with Makimba.
Umuntu ke owayengishayela ucingo kwakuuMarco, kodwa ngezwa ke emuva ukuthi ke wayendawonye noMakimba.
Akaze ngize ngifonele uMakho nangelilodwa ilanga.
Marco never ever called me, not in a single day.
Akaze ngize ngibe nenumber yakhe, akaze ize be nenumber yami.
I've never had his number, he's never had my number.
I told them that I am present, and he said he's coming with Makimba.
Ngamtshela ukuthi ngikhona, washo wathi uyeza naye uMakimba.
Few minutes they arrived by a Polo, white in color, and it was driven by Makimba, but the owner of the Polo is Marco.
Kumizuzu embalwa ke bafika behamba ngepolo emhlophe eyayishayelwa uMakimba, kodwa umnikazi wayo ipolo leyo kwakuuMarco.
Akaze ngize ngifonelwe uMakho, akaze ngize ngizwe ukukhuluma uMakhimba, akaze ngize ngibabone behamba ngepolo, akaze ngize ngibabone bedrive ipolo, angazi lutho ngepolo lenikhuluma ngalo.
I was never called by Marco. I never heard Makimba talking. I never saw them in a polo. I know nothing about the polo that you are referring to.
We know that Constable Zungu has testified about the white Polo, and he mentioned that accused number 5 was the driver thereof.
See,
Sorry.
He testified that the silver polo, not the white polo.
We'll just qualify that Constable Zungu testified about the Polo, and that the Polo was driven by accused number 5.
siyazi-ke ukuthi
Reading, my lord, as well. The polo that was referred to in the evidence of Constable Zungu, it's a grey. It's not a white. So the question is misleading to this witness.
I think it says silver gate, but my lord, we don't really, it's for argument.
But was there a polo?
The-
According to Zungu,
Yes, he did mention that it was a Polo.
did he mention the color?
Yes. I
Hello?
think he did say it was a silver gray Polo.
Yeah, fine. You can argue that.
Yes.
I'm not going to argue, I'm objecting. He must
No,
not
you
be
can't.
allowed to put a
Wait.
wrong machine.
You can't object to a person leading evidence.
No, it's misleading a witness, my lord.
Yeah.
It's misleading. Are you misleading the witness?
Yes.
Well, we will rephrase the question.
Thank you, my lord.
Constable Zungu testified about a Polo, let alone the color, being driven by accused
Okay.
number 5 on the 26th of October 2014.
bekusakhulunywa ke ngombala ke kodwa ke uyekile indaba yombala umshushisi uthi ke kubufakazi bakhe uConstable Zungu wethula ubufakazi ke obuthi ke ngazo i26 October 2014 kunepolo ke eyayishayelwa uyena umsola wesihlanu.
Sengikhulume kakhulu indaba ye-26 October 2014. Ngithi 26 October 2014 angazi ngibe sebasuthwini hostel, angazi ngize ngibe noZungu.
I've mentioned the issue of the 26th of October 2014 on numerous occasions, that on the 26th of October 2014 I was never at Basutu hostel and I was never with Zungu.
And this
Angazi
was,
futhi ngibe nalaba abahleli lapha nemumva abango accused bonke, akazi ngize ngidibane nabo i-26 October.
And even the 4
2014.
accused that are seated at the back there, I was never in their presence or with them on the 26th of October 2014.
yes. And this, my lord, we see in the proceedings of the 8th of September 2023, page 44, where Zungu testified as follows. And reference is made to paragraph 4 of his statement. From line 22, I removed my vehicle because he wanted to go out as I have parked behind his vehicle and blocked his exit. I was driving a state unmarked vehicle Polo and Ngadeni was driving a silver gray hatchback Volkswagen Polo.
Bana ke ufunda khona ke ubufakazi bakhe ke uZungu la ashoyo khona ke ukuthi kwa noma ke kwadingeka ke ukuthi asuse yakhe ke imoto nanjengoba wayemi emuva kwakhe ke emvimbile ukuthi ke akhe aphume ngeyakhe imoto uyasho ukuthi yena Zungu wayehamba ngemoto yombuso ke eyayingabhaliwe ngalelo langa kwakuyipolo uyasho ukuthi ke ekangadeni ke yona ke kwakuyi grey ipolo hatchback.
Angimazi ungadeni akhuluma ngayo. Angaze ngize ngibe se-hostel nge-26 October 2014.
I do not know the Ngadeni that he is referring to. I was never at the hostel on the 26th of October 2014.
And in his evidence, Constable Zungu did say it's Nkani, accused number 5.
Kubufakazi bakhe ke uConstable Zungu washo ukuthi ke unkani umsolo wesihlanu.
Namanje ngiyasho into akaze ngize ngibe se-hostel nge-26 October 2014. Angaze ngize ngibe no-accused bonke laba balapha yana emumva nge-26 October 2014. Angaze ngize ngibe noZungu. Angaze ngize ngibe se-hostel eBasuthwini ngomhla ka-26 October 2014.
I still maintain that I was never at the hostel on the 26th of October 2014. I was never in the company or in the presence of the co-accused on the 26th of October 2014. I was never at the hostel, Basutu hostel, on the 26th of October 2014.
Yes. And in his statement, there is now Constable Zungu that serves as Exhibit AA before this court. Says I was driving a state unmarked vehicle, Volkswagen Polo, and Nkani was driving a silver gray hatchback Volkswagen Polo.
Kubufakazi bakhe ke uyasho ke lapho uZungu ukuthi ke ngalelo langa lelo wayehamba ke ngepolo emhlophe na ke ngombala ekwakuyimoto yombuso kodwa ke eyayingabhaliwe unkani yena ke ehamba ngepolo eyayigrey ngombala.
Ngiyaphinda ngaze ngibe se-hostel ngomhla ka-26 October 2014. Angaze ngize ngibe noZungu ehostela ngomhla ka-26 October 2014. Angaze ngize ngibe nonkani ehostela October 2014.
I repeat that I was never at the hostel on the 26th of October 2014. I was never with Zungu on the 26th of October 2014, and I was not or never with Nkani on the 26th of October 2014.
Angazi lutho ngayo yonke lento ekhulunywa uZungu lapha.
I know nothing about everything that is said by Zungu there.
Both they are from KwaNongoma in KwaZulu-Natal. I just entered the car and sit at the back seat. Marco said to me, there's a job we need to do. I asked them what job, and Marco said they were hired by Kelly to kill Senzo. And I asked the suspect which Kelly and which Senzo. The suspect said Kelly Kumalo and Senzo Meyiwa. They are the people we are talking about.
Bobabili ke babuya kwaNongoma noma abakwaNongoma eKZN ngangena emotweni ngahlala ngasemuva noma kwesihlalo sangasemuva. uMarco wathi kunomsebenzi ekufanele siwenze. Ngabuza ke mina ukuthi umsebenzi muni loyo. uMarco wasethi ke baqashwa ke uKelly noma ke baqelwa ke uKelly ukuthi babulale uSenzo. Ngabuza mina ke ngambuza umsolo ukuthi muphi uKelly nokuthi muphi uSenzo. Umsolo wake wathi uKelly Khumalo noSenzo Meyiwa ibona abantu labo ayekhuluma ngabo.
Akazi kuze kube nesikhathi engidibana kuso noMarco noMakhimba behamba ngepolo ngene ngemuva ngikhulume nabo. Akaze ngize ngikhuluma indaba kaKelly, akaze ngize ngikhuluma indaba kaSenzo. Akukho engikwaziyo ngokufa kukaSenzo.
There was never a stage where I met Marco and Makimba and I entered the vehicle and sat at the back. There was never a time where I spoke to them about Kelly and the Senzo or the killing of Senzo. I know nothing about the death of Senzo.
Akukho engikwaziyo ngoKelly.
I know nothing about Kelly.
Paragraph 3. I asked them if they already charged the money, and they said yes, they charged 100,000. Both Marco and Makimba charged for the killing.
Ngase ngibabuza bobabili ke ukuthi babe sebekile yini ke sorry imali ukuthi ke imali nike imali yalomsebenzi basho ke ukuthi yebo imali ke abayifunayo ke kwaku 100,000 bobabili uMarco kanye naye uMakimba beyifunela ukubulala kona lokho.
Ngoba ngisho akaze ngikhulume noMarco, akaze ngikhulume noMakimba, ngazi lutho ngokufa komuntu hayi ngoba ngishilo athi ayikho into engeke ngayithola ngokuthi kwafu Senzo. Akaze ngithole nix, angazi lutho ngokufa kaSenzo.
As I said that I never spoke to Marco, I never spoke to Makimba, I never received anything about a person's death, and as I said that I know nothing about his death. There is nothing that I ever received for his death.
Manje ngiyasha ngazi lutho ene nasemnyakeni ezayo ngobe ngazi lutho nje ngokufa kaSenzo. Ngiyohlala ngazi lutho uSenzo wafa kanjani.
I still maintain that I know nothing, and also in the coming years, I will still be knowing nothing about Senzo's death as to how Senzo died.
Marco was the one who was having dreadlocks, and Makimba was wearing the cap, red in color, and I was wearing the white cap.
uMarco ke yilo owayenama dreads, uMakimba yena ke wayegqoke ikepusi elalibomvu ngombala, mina ke ngangifake ikepusi elalimhlophe.
Angazi lutho ngayo yonke lento ukininde wafika lapha wangitshela ukuthi uMarco unama dread mayesise phosphorus.
I know nothing about this. Kininda is the one who arrived there and told me about Marco who was having dreadlocks when we were in Phosphorus.
Angazi lutho ngayo yonke lento le ela.
I know nothing about what is contained in here.
We've seen when going through Exhibit S, there are photos of accused number 3 having dreadlocks.
Ubonile ke kuyithombe lezi ke ebeyitshengisa lana ke umsolo wesithathu uyithombe lezi enama dreadlocks.
uMarco.
Marco.
No, we talk about accused number 3. We saw photos of accused number 3 in which he was wearing dreadlocks.
Cha. Sorry.
The state is reading about the content of what they allege should have been made by this witness. There is nowhere where it is referred to here. I mean, there is nowhere where accused number 3 is being referred to in the statement. Is it that they are leading this statement about the truthfulness of the statement that they allege was made by him? So where in this statement does he mention accused number 3?
Yes, Mr. Balui, some objection.
The statement is not in vacuum. You compare it with the objective facts. You compare it with the established facts. Now, accused number 3 has admitted in the photos that appear in Exhibit S that it's him on those photos, and he does have dreadlocks. So all that we're saying is we have seen in the evidence that accused number 3 appears on photos in Exhibit S, and he is wearing dreadlocks. That is all, my lord.
No, but that is incorrect, my lord. The purpose why the state is going through this statement is to verify, is to indicate that the information that is contained in the statement is information that comes from this witness. And in the statement, this witness does not speak about accused number 3. He speaks about Marco and Makimbi Buteles. So what objective facts are they speaking about? Because accused number 3's photos, they are standalone, totally divorced from what is contained in the statement. The state, I must say, my lord, is busy planting a seed in the mind of the court, and that is not allowed.
Which seed are they planting?
They definitely know what seed they're planting. Whether it's an apple, whether it's a peach, or it's a banana seed, they really know.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi.
Well, Advocate Nisi will be well advised to read what the law says. It says when a confession is made, there must be evidence aliunde to support what is in the confession. And that's precisely what we're doing. But we live in that.
May I get a copy of that authority?
Yes, we live in that for argument. We quoted
The
that,
Graskop.
that authority, and it's not for us to teach anyone what the
Okay,
law
but you are
says.
saying you are permitted to lead evidence aliunde.
Yes.
Mr. Mnisi, if Mr. Baloyi is misleading the court and you and your colleagues, you can argue that there is no legal principle like that which allows him to have reference to the contents of a statement or a confession. Okay.
I'm noting, my lord.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm noting.
He's saying the law allows him.
Each time there's an objection from the defense, then the defense is told that we can argue that. Each time the state wants to do something, then the state gets its way around to do whatever they want to do. At no point was the state ever told that they can argue that. I'm also noting that as well, my lord.
I can also add that the state is misleading this court. A reference has just been made of the appearances of the 8th of September 2023 on page 24, wherein the state referred to the polo that was said to have been driven by accused number 5, but there is no reference on page 24, my lord.
Page 24 is what is
It's
the page of the
transcript.
transcript.
Yes. There is no such reference on this page that the state has made a space into the record.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi, you say you're cooking the evidence.
What page is my colleague referring to? Because we refer to page 43 and 44.
43 and 44.
Not 24.
Hey, yeah, one much.
You see,
Okay, yeah,
it's
fine.
always important to listen before making an objection.
Yeah, fine.
I said page 43 and page 44.
Read page 43 and 24. And then you'll read for us 21. 24. You're saying there's no reference like that in page 24. 24. Okay, fine, yeah.
My Lord, the proceedings of 8th September 2023, page 43, we read from line 22. There's the statement of Zungu that has been handed up as Exhibit AA. I removed my vehicle because he wanted to go out, as I have parked behind his vehicle and blocked his exit. I was driving a state unmarked vehicle, a Volkswagen Polo and Gadeni. Then it proceeds to page 44 from line 1. Gadeni was driving a silver gray hatchback Volkswagen Polo. I then went outside and removed the vehicle out of his way, and he left, but I later came back. I don't know if Advocate Michelolo accuses the state of misleading the court. Can she perhaps maybe state as to in what respect, and if perhaps she's mistaken, I think she should withdraw that, my lord.
My lord, I confirm it's there on page 43 and page 44, not on page 24 as I have recorded.
So you were making a mistake.
Sorry, my lord.
You made a mistake.
Yes.
The court, my lord. Whilst on the question of objective evidence, the state is saying to this witness, did you see on Exhibit S that accused number 3 has got dreadlocks? That's a fact, but it does not end up there. The state must also put to this witness, how are those dreadlocks looking in that Exhibit S? Because the dreadlocks that are in Exhibit S have been exhibited many a times before this court, and they take a particular pattern. It is just not dreadlocks. The state has got a duty to put that objective information before this court if it wants to, holistically. It must not pick and choose. That photo should actually be exhibited there. That the state tell this witness that these are the dreadlocks that accused number 3 had, and they look like this. Not just to say dreadlocks. Dreadlocks, they come in all shapes and patterns and sizes. But those that are appearing in Exhibit S, they take a particular form and pattern.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi, they say,
As a court, please, these are matters for argument, my lord. These matters need not detain us further here. When we argued in the Section 174 application, we went into detail the similarities in the confession and the objective evidence. And we'll go through the same exercise, my lord, at the appropriate time.
May I respond, my lord? This witness should respond to accurate information that the state wants them to respond to. They cannot simply say dreadlocks, because those dreadlocks and those photos are taking, as I'm saying, a particular form and pattern. So they must refer specifically this witness what is contained in that photo, in that Exhibit S, as to how the dreadlocks of accused number 3 are looking. Must say to this witness, in photo number S, this is how the dreadlocks of accused number 3 are looked on that day. That will be a holistic form of approach on how those dreadlocks look.
yes,
And that will be objective evidence.
Mr. Baloyi, what's your response?
We will show a photo. We'll show page 42 of Exhibit S. This is the, as accused number 3 admitted, his photo with the dreadlocks.
avuma khona-ke umsolo wesithathu ukuthi isithombe sakhe-ke lesi enama-dreadlocks.
Photo number?
It's page 42, my lord,
Page 42,
of Exhibit S.
Okay.
Yes. Right, do you have any comment?
Khona fisa ukusho?
Cha mina angivumi, mina number 3 angimazi Sithombe. Number 3 ngimazi ukumbona kanje ngoba ngicela ngibone Bosbeck nje angaze ngibone namarasta ukuthi manje namarasta ubukeka kanjani. So angeke ngikwazi ukukhomenta ngalesa sithombe lesa. Mara uma ungathi ubani lo ngasho ukuthi number 3 ngoba ngiyambona ngimazi engena dread.
No, I do not admit because I do not know accused number 3 with dreadlocks or having dreadlocks. When I first saw him in Boxback and he did not have dreadlocks. If you were to ask me who that is now pointing to accused number 3 as seated there, I would be able to tell you, but I do not know him when having dreadlocks. So I cannot comment on that photo.
We'll proceed just now. Advocate Nisi asked us about the requirement that a confession should be supported by evidence aliunde, and in this regard, one can consult Himstra's criminal procedure,
We've passed that stage. We're now on the
Can you adjourn?
dreadlocks. He now is
Hello, can you adjourn?
he's now busy dealing with
Yeah, can
evidence
we adjourn? What time is
unwounded.
it?
Yes,
Can you adjourn?
these are matters of argument, but we're busy now.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you.